want to say thank you for coming to our healing yoga class. Blessings. Welcome to our healing yoga. At any time, anything I'm offering, it is just an offering. Please use this space as a healing time for whatever you and your inner guide want to heal with. So we all have different constitutions. I follow Ayurveda, and they follow this belief that we have different elemental makeups, each one of us. So that means that we all have different things we should be doing at different times to feel good. So that being said, at any time anything I'm offering feels too much or not enough, please listen to your own inner guide and allow this space to just be a healing space for your needs. Okay. Let's get started. Our group intention today will be to connect to the senses, specifically on our head, to direct our attention inwards. So our intention is to direct our senses inward, and we'll move it upwards to connect to our psychic space at the end during a meditation. So let's start by harmonizing our group circle. If you're comfortable, we've talked about the structure of an Om. The sound vibration itself is a journey up from the root, our chakra root in yoga, up to the crown. So it grounds us to then send some energy upward. Always in my healing yoga and really anything I do in life, I'm grounding to then be able to take up off the chakra ladder, if it feels appropriate. Some days I'm just grounding all day, and that's what needs to happen for me to feel good. So anyway, just wanted to bring you in on why we're doing that and my thoughts around that. So let's harmonize with our Om from the ground up to the crown. You can chant with me 3 Oms and 3 Shantis, meaning peace, or you can chant internally, or you can just listen. Let's find a comfortable seated position, whether you're cross-legged in a chair, does not matter. Root down through the base of you, through the sit bones. Lengthen through the crown. Take an inhale and exhale through the nose. Be aware that you're breathing there, please. Let's begin with 3 Oms and 3 Shantis on the next exhale. Shanti, 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 meaning peace, peace, peace. Beautiful. So because of that grounding we want to cultivate, let's start off grounding down in our first pose. Make your way up to a comfortable standing position. We'll start off with Tadasana as we do most classes. Find your feet hip-width distance apart or a comfortable distance for yourself. Let's root down through the feet and we'll come up with the energy. So lift the toes, spread the toes, grip your toes. Lift through the inner arches of your foot and ground down through the toe mound, the outer ridge, and the heel. This crescent moon-like formation on the sole of the foot. Lift through the kneecaps. Engage your large thigh muscles and the back hamstring muscles. Engage your back glute muscles. We have 3 of them. And then find a neutral pelvis. You can rock, tilt. So we just started from the feet roots up to the pelvis. I call these the lower body engagements. I may refer to them as lower body engagements, and I will generally mean from the feet to the pelvis. So find those engagements for yourself. We're beginning to stabilize, ground, find a nice foundation for our chakra, our upper body, to reside upon. Let's talk about the upper body. Thumbs spiral back. Notice that just with opening the palms out, the heart lifts. You can play with in palms and notice the rounding in the back, and then out palms, heart lift. Connect to this opening through the front body, spreading of the skin of the collarbones and the chest. Draw your chin down to your throat. Please lift out through the crown of your head. So we're talking about the upper body now, but are you still engaged in the lower body? Keep those engagements for yourself. Let's start with our intention or our motivation for class. It can be the intention I said, to connect to the senses, to direct our attention inwards and upwards, or maybe you have your own personal goal you're working with. Let either or both of those resonate. Say it to yourself and palms up. Inhale, reach up for our motivation, our intention. Pull it down through your whole neutral spinal column. Let's do 2 more. Palms up. Inhale, reach up to your motivation. Be here now and pull this down through you. We can do 1 more like that. Inhale, reach up. Motivation, intention for our class, and pull this down through your whole being. Ground it down. Let's come back to a Tadasana again. Connect to that foundation in the lower body. Stay rooted. We're going to move our arms for alignment with the upper body now. Palms up. Let's come to a T. Straight arms. Connect to the shoulder blades. Bring them together and down towards your glutes. Lengthen through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Stay rooted through the legs, please. If at any time these arms come too intense, come on out and meet us back whenever you're ready. From our T, we move to a V. We practice these still static postures so that when we move more later on in practice, we come from alignment that we've cultivated right here. Depress those shoulder blades down, make them reach towards the glutes. Let's come to our H, arms alongside the ears. We want to stray away from any rounding like I'm showing and continue to depress those shoulder blades down the back body. Engage the lower body from the feet to the pelvis. 2 more arm variations. W, elbows in line with the shoulder. Notice how we're lifting the heart space, lifting the collarbones. Keep the neck long, please. Keep that chin tucked into the throat. Last arm here, push air current down. Internal rotation of the arms. Inhale and exhale. Whew, I'm beginning to feel tingly and warm. Maybe you're feeling sensation. Come back to a Tadasana. 3 breaths connecting to any sensation you're feeling. In our healing yoga, we aim to quiet the mind and body to listen to inner vital force messages so it can communicate appropriately within. Let's do our spinal directions in the 4 directions. Inhale, reach your palms up to your intention and motivation. Keep your connected palms above your arms. Remember those shoulder blades down the back body. Stay rooted through the legs. Inhale, lengthen through your side body only, and then exhale to the right. Now we're lengthening and stretching the side body, specifically between the rib and the hip crest. spreading the skin here so that we can use our side muscles for engagement. Take your upper arm back behind the ear. Breathe here. Inhale, nice to stable center. Exhale, settle. Let your next inhale go to the other direction. Pour up and over. Spread from the rib and the hip crest on the right. Take your right upper arm back behind ear. Inhale and exhale, please. Inhale back to neutral. Here's our first back bend. I like to do it with protection in my arms in W. You're staying the same way, I'm just showing from the side. So we say back bend, but it actually has nothing to do with moving of the spine. What we're going to do is engage the legs and the shoulders, and then we express the back bend naturally. There's no bend in the low back with our yoga back bends here. So engage those lower leg muscles if they're not already, from the feet to the pelvis. Press your pelvis forward. Notice how that sent my heart up. Bring the shoulder blades together and up to the sky. That brings your heart and collarbones up further. That's our back bend. We didn't have to do anything to the spine. Let's take 3 breaths, lifting the heart space up to the sky. Keep the neck long. Chin tucked in for now. We're warming up the body before we get deep with our stretches. Last direction here, arms up center again, palms meet if it feels good, and we round forward. Please breathe into the upper back, the neck, and the head, gazing down below. 3 breaths, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Inhale, please come back up to stable center and release back to a Tadasana. Let's think of our alignment cues here. We're setting up a nice grounded foundation for the rest of our movement today. Direct your pelvic floor up towards your navel. So the base of the pelvis in between the thighs, pulling that up to your navel. Direct your navel towards your spine and up to the heart, stabilizing. Direct your chin down to your throat, reach out through the crown of your head. Beautiful. Let's do some breath with some movement here. Inhale, reach up to your motivation and intention. Palms meet again. This is called a Bhastrika-like breath. Forceful, remember, follow your inner guide force. Inhales and exhales sounding like in and out through the nose. And what we'll do is rotate the ribs left on an inhale, the ribs right on an exhale. You can be as subtle. Notice I can barely move. Now I'm showing really subtle ones. Or if you're feeling a little more energized, you can go a little deeper. So it sounds and looks like so be as slow and gentle as feels good for you, please. We're holding space for a few more rounds. Energizing, awaking. Let's take one last set and then release. Come back down to a Tadasana. 3 breaths to feel your sensation within. We talked about the senses. Connecting to our senses, specifically on the head, so that we can direct them inward to find focus. So now let's breathe in and out through some points on the head zone for clarity and purity. So energetically breathe in and out through your forehead here. We stay in an engaged Tadasana, strong legs, remember our alignments. Please breathe in and out through the forehead. Space, clarity. Please breathe in and out through the crown of your head, the top of your head. Space, clarity, authenticity. The area directly behind the third eye, so this is the forehead, third eye, now the back of the head. Please breathe in and out through the back of your head. Space, clarity, purity. Making a line with the nose tip up to the sky. Follow your own inner guide of extension here. You do not want to hyperextend. Breathe in and out through the front throat space. Clarity, purity, space. Make a line with the nose tip down, flexing your chin to the chest. Breathe in and out through the back of the head and neck. Space, clarity, purity. Last one here, come back neutral with the head. This is kind of funky, so I'm coming up close. We open the mouth, keep the teeth together, and just breathe in and out through your teeth. I know it's kind of funny, but yoga is fun. Feel any sensation, hot, cool, wet, or dry. Really tuning yourself to the senses. Beautiful focus. All right, let's then come back to a Tadasana if you weren't already. Inhale, reach up sky high, palms up. Reverse your palms, push down, bend the knees. First Uttanasana, fold down. Hinge from the waist. Release from your low back, your middle back, your upper back, your neck, and your head. Keep your knees bent as much as you need to support yourself. You can slowly straighten the legs as feels good for your hamstrings. Have the hands grab elbows if it feels good. 3 more breath cycles here. Please breathing in and out through the nose. At any time, audible exhales are available to release anything heavy or anything limiting. You can open mouth or a sigh. Always welcome. Take your last breath cycle here in our fold. Bend the knees to support your rise. You're lifting up in a moment. Hands to hips. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Strong legs. Inhale all the way up to standing. Tadasana. So here we'll come to some standing balance. If you want to use a wall or a chair, go right ahead. They're totally welcome. Let's come into our feet as close together as you feel comfortable. Begin to visualize standing on the right leg, just visualizing. From visualizing, offer engagement from the foot to the pelvis on the right. And then we're lifting also the engaged left leg, keep it strong, to the ankle of the right, maybe to the calf of the right. Avoid the knee joint for stability, or maybe to the thigh of the leg. Hands can stay at hips for stability. You're at any of these variations. I'm just showing them again. If you feel grounded and stable in our Vrikshasana in Sanskrit, tree pose, hands can come to heart. Or maybe it expresses your heart space, limitless, boundless, out to the side. Feel free to play. This is your dance. This is your yoga. They call life in yoga the dance of life, the Leela. So find your own way here. Let's take one more breath, whatever you are expressing here. Inhale, reach through the top of your head. And exhale, ground down through your left foot, stabilize into the floor, to your roots. Motivation breath, reset. Inhale, reach your heart and arms up. Exhale, pull this motivation and intention down through you. Other side, visualize your left leg engaging and strong. From the visualization, engage from the foot to the pelvis. And your right leg is strong and on the move. Your right leg is holding its own weight, resting on the ankle like a little kickstand or the calf. Avoid the knee and maybe the thigh. Hands to heart or to hips to stabilize, and you can come to heart if you feel stable. Remember, play around with your own fluid form. 2 more breaths here. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Inhale, connect to the grounded sensation below. Lift out through the crown of your head up high to the sky. Take 1 more breath on an inhale. Lift your head energetically. And on an exhale, release the right leg back down. Beautiful. Reset, motivation, intention breath. Inhale, reach up, connect, and pull it down through your center line neutrality. Another balance pose. First, we'll start with that right. Visualize that right leg strong. Engage then from the foot to the pelvis. And now left knee is coming up. Remember, you can use a wall or a prop. Interlace the hands underneath the kneecap. Point and flex the left foot, offering engagement so that the leg is lifting its own. If you feel really stable, hands can come to hip, but please stay where you are finding stability. Remember, in healing yoga, I like to teach, we want to always be grounded before we take off anywhere else. Maybe you push out through that toe mound to your ability for a breath cycle, only if you remove the hands. We're all coming back together the way we came in. Interlace, inhale and exhale, and then release. Reset. No judgments, no attachments to our form. Remember to connect to the feeling inward. Inhale, reach up to your motivation for practice, and exhale, pull it down through you. Other side, visualize standing on the left. Begin to offer those engagements from the floor to your hip, and then right legs on the move. Interlace, switch the interlace. It should feel different underneath the knee. Point, flex, point, flex for engagement purposes. If you feel stable here, hands can come to hip, but if you don't, just come right on back here. This is beautiful, working on stability and foundation. Lift your heart, lift out through your crown. If you want to try the leg extension, take a breath pressing out through the toe mound. Inhale and exhale, and then slowly lower that leg. Oh, the way we came in, actually. And then come out the way that we came in. Beautiful. I love that little challenge of trying to mirror what we started. Let's come from Tadasana again. Intention, reset to intention breath, and exhale, pull this through you. One more balance challenge here. So this one's pretty intense. Take this to your ability. Listen to inner guide at all times. We'll sit back like we're in a chair. We're lifting the left leg up and over the right so the knees stack. You can keep this little kickstand with the left foot. You'll see I'm doing it. Or if you can bend deeper in the knees, pelvis lowers, some may get their foot behind the calf. This is not necessary. So either this or the kickstand. I'm going to show the arms now. Swing the arms up, and then we'll send the left arm under the right to look like this, or double bind here. So Garudasana, take a breath cycle. If you come out, come back in to meet us. We're temporarily constricting blood to the joints. It's going to feel awesome in a second. Take another breath cycle. And slowly, the way we came out, or you came in, you come out. Whew. And take a breath cycle in our Tadasana, connecting to the blood flowing back to the joints, fresh oxygen and nutrients to the body. Other side, we'll sit into our chair as deeply as you want to express. Inhale, engage that strong right leg up and over, knees stack, maybe to this kickstand on the right, or you bend a little deeper and get those toes behind the calf. Woo. Arms up, right arm swings under left to look like this, or you perhaps get that second bind. Let's hold space for 2 more breaths. Center the knees. Draw the elbows down. Reach out through the crown of your head. Stay tall in the spine. 1 more inhale. Begin to reset and release on the exhale. Connect in Tadasana to the blood, oxygen, and nutrients flowing to your joints and whole body. Another Uttanasana fold here. Take the knees to the width of your mat. If you're not on a mat, just wider than hip width. Inhale, palms up, reach up to this star pose. Connect to your inner bright light. Bend the knees, palms down, push air current, and we're coming to this wider legged fold. So now you'll notice you have more space in the hip joints. Feel free to sway the hips back and forth. It's called Sahaja, natural movement. Just let yourself gently, coming from your kind heart, move your body, checking in. Hands can come to the elbows, or they can interlace and go up to the sky. 3 more breath cycles here. Remember, audible exhales are welcome. Just a release of anything heavy. Once you've done an audible exhale, come back to your breath in and out through the nose. Last breath cycle here in our inversion. Bend the knees as deep as you can and want to support. We're coming up, hands to hips, lengthen out through the crown, lengthen through the spine as a whole, and we're coming on up to standing. Back to a Tadasana. Beautiful. Walk the feet back together. Connect to your motivation. Inhale, take up space all the way up. And exhale, pull this space and intention down through your whole being. So what we'll do now is come sideways. And I don't have my mat set up properly. So excuse me, just setting this up for the camera. Okay. So coming lengthwise, you don't need to move on the mat if you don't have one. It just helps with grip a tiny bit. From feet together, just taking a foot 3 to 4 feet distance apart, we'll come to Utkatta Konasana. Take the toes out and let the knees be in line with the toes. Bend the knees over the ankles. Trying to keep shoulders in alignment with your hips so that you're not too far forward, too far back. Let the arms lengthen above the knees. Gently press into the arms to lengthen through the spine. Reach out through the crown. Inhale and exhale. Through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. Beautiful, everyone. So we're going to do this breath first. It's a little twist, and we do on the exhales, so it sounds and looks like if the sound is not resonating with you, you don't have to do that. You can also just do horse breath, going like, sounds like a horse, right? It's very good for the vagus nerve so that we can access our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. So let's do a few more if you're doing the breath with me. Or once you're ready, come back to neutral. Let's straighten the legs. We'll come back to it, but take a break. Toes forward, star pose. Take up space. Lift your heart. Maybe you're beginning to open your throat, lifting your gaze, only if it feels good. Take a big inhale into the abdomen. And then an exhale, we're coming back. Toes out, knees in line with the toes. Hands rest on the top of knees just for the spine to lengthen. Inhale and exhale. So we'll find those eagle arms here again. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, right arm under the left. You can stay like this or bring that second bind into play. Inhale and exhale. Send your low back down to ground. Lengthen through your crown. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, right arm, left arm swings under right. Excuse me, I get that confused sometimes. Pull down through the elbows, reach out through the crown of your head. Inhale and exhale here. Release the arms, come back up to star pose, toes forward. Inhale, arms up, lift your heart space. Lift your collarbones. Maybe you tilt your nose up if it feels good. And one more time. Back down on an exhale. Toes out, knees in line with the toes. Let's do our Garudasana arms again. Inhale up. Exhale right under the left to this or second bind. Breathe in and out through the nose, please. One more on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, left arm under the right. Inhale and exhale through the nose. One more, we're adding on. Let the arms mirror the legs. Cactus arms or our W arms. Take one more breath, lifting your heart. And then straighten, toes forward, straighten out through the arms. Inhale, lift your heart space. Stay wide-legged. You can even widen it. I'm toe heeling out further to your limit. Bend the knees, hands to hips. Lengthen through your crown, lower all the way down. So we took our folds very systematically. We started closer legs, wider legs. Now find your widest setting that feels good. Release from the waist from there. Releasing the low back,
softening the middle back, softening your upper back, softening your neck, softening your head. Release your tongue and your jaw. Hands grab elbows or interlace up to the sky. Soften your mind. Soften your heart. Soften your gut, please. Take one more breath cycle here. Bend the knees so they're nice and strong and engaged. We're coming up. Hands to your hips. Reach out through the crown of your head. Nice and stable. Come all the way up to a standing posture. Palms out like a Tadasana. So here's where I like to offer toe heels. Your toe and heels just walk in. Or if you're feeling a little jumpy, you can bend the knees and do this one jump together with me. Back to center. Beautiful. So what we'll do now is just take our feet a little bit wide. If you want to try a squat, go ahead with me. Lower your pelvis down in between the legs. Remember, use your hands or any props for support. You could probably hear my knees going like ker, 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 ker. And then you have our Malasana. If you're comfortable staying here for a moment, take time to connect to your practice, bowing to your body, to your temple. Thank you, body. I am grateful. I love you. Smile from the back of your throat, the soft palate. And then we'll come on down to, let me just move I wasn't prepared with my mat, excuse me. We'll come on down on the floor. So coming prone from our Malasana, coming down onto the mat. Let's come to a Sphinx to start. So Sphinx is like this. We have our legs lengthened behind us. Press down through both feet like they're one tail. Have the wrists and hands in line with the elbows and shoulders like these little columns out in front of you. Spread the skin on the chest. Press down through your lower body engagements. Open through your heart. Let's check in with our cervical movements we've been working on. Flex the chin down. Breathe into the back of the neck and head. Inhale, neutral gaze, neutral spine. Extend the chin up to your ability. Do not go past. I say most classes, in our healing yoga, we aim to find our individual edge and then pause right before passing the edge. Do not pass the edge. Sit in the pause. It's very beautiful and calming. From this, we come to neutral, and then we'll come to rotation, bringing nose tip to the left. Breathe into the right. Pause right before the edge. Back to neutral, rotation right. Pause. Back to neutral. One more variation, lateral flexion, bringing your ear to your shoulder. Breathe into the right side neck. The nose stays centered for this variation. pausing to your limit right before passing sensation. And then back to neutral. Lateral flexion right, pause here. Breathe into the left side. Come back to center. Please stay here if this feels good, or with any of the variations if one calls to you. We look to just find our own individual edge like we talked about in the beginning. Please follow that at any time. If you want to try seal, we'll walk our hands out just a few fingertips further and then straighten the arm bones, and then you can walk your hands in, but check in with your low back. This is intense in the low spine, possibly. Find your limit and breathe into abdomen cavity, breathe into chest. If you feel warm enough and no neck problems, you can open your throat, bringing your chin and nose up. And then let's release. Stay with the arms. If you're here with me, release the head down. Breathe into the back, one breath. Come back down through a sphinx here. Elbows wide, palms meet, forehead to this palm pillow. Give your hips a little shake if it feels good. And I just see, it might be hard for me to see because of all this beautiful sunlight coming in. Sorry, let's see if this helps at all. I think so. I should have done that earlier. So now pausing here, shake the hips, release any buildup, any tension that may have occurred, any contraction in the spine, I should say. I try not to even use that word I just used, but anyway, contraction. Inhale and exhale. So now let's take our palms alongside of us. Shalabhasana or locust. This is a very empowering pose. We lift our own selves off of the earth element. It's really beautiful. So my head's forward for talking, but please have your forehead down, lengthen through the neck. I'll do that in a moment once I'm done. Once I'm done talking. We have our arms alongside of us. We'll lift our legs, arms, chest, and head in unison, pressing down through the pelvis and the hip crests. Inhale, lift the lower body, arms and legs. Very empowering that you are using your own musculoskeletal system to lift yourself off the earth element. Take another breath. We'll come into this 2 more times. Surrender on an exhale. Either the forehead pillow with the arms wide. You can also, one of my teachers is crisscross applesauce, cross the legs, release any buildup. Or just give your hips a little shake back and forth. It's great for the nervous system to relax and calm too. Let's try another arm variation with the same pose. I love cactus arms out to the side, elbows in line with my shoulders, bringing my shoulder blades together in a moment. Forehead down. Inhale, lift the lower body, arms, and upper body. Try to find that you're lifting your upper body as much as you're lifting the lower body. Look down, lengthen through the back of the neck, reach out through the crown of your head. Take another inhale to lift. Surrender yourself down to earth element on an exhale with either that forehead pillow and then maybe the crisscross or your hip shake. So we have room for one more variation with the arms. Remember all the alignment we go over in the beginning. Pick one of those arms if they resonate with you. I'm going to do the arms forward like H, but again, remember we have all these different forms. You can repeat one, pick one that feels good for you. Inhale, one last variation. Lift yourself up from the hip points. Very empowering, beautiful form. Inhale, extend from the feet and the fingertips in unison. And when you're ready, surrender yourself back down to the earth element. One last release of the forehead. Use this as a time to connect to the psychic space. We'll go deeper with this in our Shavasana meditation soon. So you can rotate the forehead back and forth on the palms, awakening connection to this psychic space, connection to consciousness. Beautiful. Let's come back through a Sphinx just to move out of this pose. Press into the arms, curl your toes under behind you, come to the knees, and then walk your legs forward, and then we'll sit back. Beautiful. So I'm figuring out where I want to go with this. Let's come, I ran out of time for some of our stuff. So let's come down onto our hips and our legs forward. Dandasana. Press through the toe mounds. Spiral the hands alongside of you. Elbows pressed back. Remember those alignments from the beginning of class. Let's draw our pelvic floor up. Your navel towards your spine. Your chin towards your throat. Inhale and exhale through your nose. Reach out through the crown of your head, please. All right. So now we'll bend the feet to the mat, knees up. Give yourself a hug here. Maybe you grab elbows. Lower your head down. Take time to connect to yourself, your inner essence. Thank you, body. I am grateful. I love you. And here we'll lower ourselves down to the earth. So our legs are bent, press down through the feet, lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the spine. Lower yourself by using your leg strength and your abdomen strength down to the earth nicely. So what I'd like to hold space for is our legs up for a brief moment. First, let's ground the spine, very important. Bring the knees in and the feet wide. Allow your sacrum to your head to be supported by the earth element. Hands can rest on your body. Breathe into your hands on your stomach and your heart. Accessing these deep breath cycles, soothing and calming. Stay here if this feels great for you. If you want to try another pose, bring the feet in, engage the knees into your body, and then send the legs up sky high to your limit. The legs don't have to be straight. Your intention of having feet over hips. We're reversing the flow of blood. Take your legs out, your arms out to a T if it feels good. And we'll take 5 breath cycles here. Intention of directing our energy upward from our legs, from our knees, from our hips, from our pelvis. We'll use it very shortly here to meditate on our psychic space. Directing your energy upwards to the top. Take 3 more breath cycles here. You can always do this pose against a wall. You can put a prop, a pillow, a block, something to support under your sacrum, and it helps to relieve any low back tension. It really feels great. This is a great pose to do daily. When you're ready, bend the knees into your chest space, hug yourself in, and then find some movement. We'll rock and roll up to seated.
Do as many rocks as you need. I just want to get in this mudra for the intention of our class. A mudra is a gesture that we're doing on the outside externally, a gesture, but it is connecting to something internally, is the intention of that. So what we'll do, it's kind of funky, I'm coming in close. The intention is to represent the 6 gates into the head so that we can bring attention to the senses to direct them inward, not be so much focusing on the lights and the sounds and the people and the movements outward. So if it's comfortable, just know this is in your toolkit too. You don't have to do it now. And my hair looks like Gene Wilder. Great, this is great. So we'll take our thumb. I love giggling at myself, so feel free to giggle with me. And bring your thumbs into your ear gate, just gently, not too forceful. It's just a representation of this sense. Pointer to the eyes, middle to the nose. Don't close, otherwise we can't breathe. The intention is just to represent. And then the bottom 2 fingers along the mouth. We're representing the 6 gates of the senses into the body. The elbows are out wide. I know it looks funny, but this is definitely a yoga mudra. Connect to light and sound. Allow your breath to be the orchestrator. Begin to soften the fingers from this representation of the senses. Let's come to a breath for a few cycles here. So our humming bee breath, also called Brahmari, sounding on the exhales like mm. The inhales come naturally. Find your inner vibration or inner essence. Let's do a few rounds of this. Humming bee breath on the exhales. Allow yourself to get softer and subtler with the vibration. Stay here practicing pranayama breath work, or you can come back to a shavasana at this time.
Shavasana looks like lying down on the floor or bed or couch, wherever you are. You can take the feet wide and the arms wide. Rest against the earth element. If you have any low back sensation, bend the knees like we did before, knees in, feet wide. This is a great pose. Either are available, this one or Shavasana. We'll be here for a few moments, a few minutes together for our quiet portion of class. This is allowing ourselves to be still and allowing the communication within. Please connect to the support of the earth element beneath you. Allow yourself to soften everywhere, relaxing against that support. If you feel grounded, we'll move onward, but please take note if you're needing some grounding still. Breathe in and out through the pelvis. It's very grounding. If you feel grounded, direct your attention upwards to that forehead space, eyebrow center, connection to consciousness, connect to the psychic center. You're welcome to stay in this beautiful Zen state if it feels right for you. If you're ready to close class and journey onward, feel free to bring awareness to the spine now. Try to inhabit the neutral spinal column, finding a balance between energy body and physical body. From this inner balance, begin to offer in any movements, some stretching, reaching out through the hands and toes if it feels good. From these gentle, loving movements that you're offering yourself, you can bend the knees if you're in Shavasana,
and bring them to the left, leaving your right sun channel open. We still have a good portion of day here left with the sun. So coming up to seated, we'll close class the way we started. If you'd like to, you can chant with us, you can chant internally, or you can just listen. Come to a comfortable seated position, root down through the base of you, lengthen through the crown. Let your hands float to heart space to connect to inner essence. Take an inhale and exhale through the nose, and please be aware that you're breathing there. 3 Oms and 3 Shanis to close our healing yoga circle. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. You can bow to yourself, to each other, to all beings. At this time, if there's anyone you'd like to send peace or light merits to, you can visualize them. Thank you so much for joining us. Namaste and blessings to all.